Hi, I'm Ren.
I'm Sam.
I'm Tosh.
And we're the T Swift
Sisters.
Welcome back to the T Swift Sisters podcast, a Taylor Swift fan podcast for Swifties by Swifties. In today's episode, we're discussing Tortured Poets accolades in its first week and our review of ttpd, the Anthology. Here's this week's Swift Scoop. All right. I think it's a fitting time to kick off our little review of the anthology with just talking about the things that have come out since TTPD was released. So of course it's Taylor, and to no one's surprise, she smashed records. She did crazy things, but I'm glad that we kind of have all of those numbers because now we get to share them with you guys.
Yeah, it was a major week to be a Swiftie and to be Taylor Swift. The Tortured Poets Department made a huge debut at number 1 on the Billboard 200 album chart, making it her 14th chart-topping album. 14? That's insane.
It
was the biggest album debut ever and had the largest streaming week of any album ever. She ties with Jay-Z for the most number ones among soloists, and the only band that beats her is the Beatles with 19 number ones. So that's pretty good competition.
When you think of the fact that she has literally 11 albums, but yet has 14 chart-topping albums, it's the fact that that means the original albums of the Taylor's version albums are now also topping the charts again with their re-releases. And only Taylor Swift can do that, truly.
Mm-hmm. Somehow the next thing she releases always beats the one before when we think it could never happen. How can you get better? And you do.
I know, it's insane. It's that Tay voodoo, honestly.
So Billboard measures albums based on units, and units can kind of be a lot of things. It can equal one album sale. It can equal 10 individual tracks that are sold from an album. And it also equals audio and video streams and stuff like that. And so they use these units to measure successes of albums. So the Tortured Poets Department launched with 2.61 million album units in the United States, which is obviously a lot. Traditional album sales, so the digital version of the album, CDs, vinyls, all of that, cassettes, they made up 1.914 million of the 2.61 million. So that kind of just means a lot of people bought the album. And I'm sure all the, limited edition releases and all these other versions, played a big role in that too, like we've talked about. But yeah, Tortured Poets Department was the largest sales week for an album on vinyl since the 90s, which is crazy to think that the Tortured Poets Department had the most vinyl sales, because it means she's beat her own record on other vinyls like Midnight's, and how she had so many editions to make the clock and everything. It's just crazy.
I know. And if you look at, so we're referencing a Billboard album that came up article that came up that we are going to link in the show notes so you guys can reference as well. But if you look at those, the top charting for the vinyl, there's 10, the top 10. Literally, Taylor Swift, number 1 is Tortured Poets. Number 2 is 1989, Taylor's version. Number 3 is Midnight's. Number 4 is Speak Now. Number 6 is Taylor Swift Red, Taylor's version. And number 8 is Evermore. Of the 10, the amount of spots that she holds is absolutely insane. And
wait, how many did she hold? Sorry, did you say the total?
6 of the 10.
Over half. And it could be any artist ever, and she owns over half of those spots. That's crazy.
It's nuts. And when you think about it, I know Sammy, you've collected vinyl for a long time, Tosh, so I can't say you, but you and me, Sama, we literally started collecting the vinyl because of Taylor. So it's crazy. It's just the Swift effect is so real. And I don't even know why. One day I was just yeah, I'm going to start collecting Taylor Swift vinyl. And here we are contributing to the millions.
I was about to say the same thing. It's so cool to know that not only because she puts out amazing music, but also us and the fandom in supporting her and, getting those numbers and meeting those sales. So it's a team effort.
Okay, but another fun accolade that Taylor got, and this is like something that for the first time happened with Midnights, where she charted the Billboard Hot 100 with 10 simultaneous tracks. She actually has it now for 14 tracks simultaneously with Tortured Poets. Insane. And I'm gonna go through and say which each one is, so that we can kind of go over it, because I'm a little bit surprised. But nonetheless, here we go. Number one is Fortnite, which it's a single. It has a music video. That's gonna typically happen. Not surprised. Number two, Down Bad. Number three, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. Probably I single-handedly got all of those streams there, honestly. Number four, Tortured Poets Department album, like title track.
Yes.
5, very apropos, So Long London is at number 5, our track 5. 6, My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. 7, But Daddy I Love Him. 8, Florida. 9, Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. 10, Guilty as Sin. 11, Fresh Out the Slammer. 12, Lommel. 13, The Alchemy. 14, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. So we have 14 out of 16 of the original songs in the Tortured Poets Department on the Hot 100 list. And they're all from like the original, none of them are from the anthology. These are like the songs that I go back to on the album every time I listen to it. Not necessarily like in that order. That's definitely going to change for people. But like these are like when I listen to the album, I'm like, okay, I want to listen to these songs.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised because I would go back to them. I'm surprised that other people would like them as much as I like them. For example, like Down Bad. That's one that I wasn't expecting a lot of other people to like, but I'm glad to see on the list.
I think what's happening with that song is that it's blowing up on TikTok, and that makes so many people listen to it. And like Fortnite, kind of the same thing. Like it's also blowing up on TikTok. So you see the TikTok effect on these songs.
A lot of them have the TikTok effect, like Florida too, and
and you have the Post Malone fans also listening to it, like, oh, like let me see what this is about. Like,
yeah, that one makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived is there.
But people are using that as a TikTok audio too, so I think that's why. For
real, you've seen it with it? I haven't seen that one in a TikTok audio.
Because I think people use it as like a. Like at their exes or whatever.
Oh, tea.
I mean, just imagine that almost your entire album is the top of the national charts right now. Your one album, like a good chunk of it. That is insane.
Okay, I do have a question about the anthology. I just remembered before we get into like our little review. Do we think that she's gonna like sell an actual vinyl or like a CD or something of it?
Just of these?
Yeah, not of like just these, but like of the 31 tracks total.
That would be like a really thick.
Yeah, but isn't Red Taylor's version like a million songs also? It's so many songs. Right.
I could see her doing it. It's another unit, wouldn't it be?
But would it? Because it's a different like album title name, like.
See, but the thing with that though, it's not like with people who think it's like a separate album or whatever, like it is ttpd the Anthology, but it still has the same OG songs on it. Like it's not like it's an extension and it's the Anthology and it's only the songs. So I don't think she'd release a vinyl of just the Anthology songs. Does that make sense?
No, I know. Yes.
Right, we're saying
that's
all of
not
them.
what I'm asking.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying like the Tortured Poets Department, the Anthology, and it has songs 1 through 31. And I just looked, Red Taylor's version has 30 tracks, and the last one is All Too Well 10-minute version. So that's essentially the same length of time as the Anthology. Why 2 hours and 10 minutes? That's longer by 8 minutes. So it's possible, but like, isn't it a little bit weird? I don't know. Like, you guys haven't thought of second guessed it or anything?
Like, you think it's weird that it hasn't been released yet?
Yeah, like when on Friday, release day, when I woke up, I don't know why, I assumed that, we're going in deep into some lore right here, right now. Before Taylor announced what the 2 was at 2 a.m. and it was the Tortured Poets Department, the Anthology, while Target was getting ready for release week, days leading up, there was the little thing that shows the item name and the price tag, you know, like when you go to a store and it says like that's where the code is and everything. So it said Tortured Poets Department $13.99, and right next to it was an album titled Serpentine for the same price. So that's why it was fueling Swifties a little more to think that it was going to be a double album drop and it was going to be rep again. Like people were still thinking that that's what it was going to be, because Serpentine was like the only thing that would logically make sense for Reputation. You get me? Like they were literally right next to each other and same exact price. Super weird. Whatever. On Friday, when I went to Target, I was like, oh, Serpentine was totally like the hidden message, whatever, for the anthology. So when I go to Target, I'll be able to buy Tortured Poets Department and Tortured Poets Department, the anthology. And it wasn't there. Like I was convinced that you could buy it and like it just doesn't exist anywhere but on your like Apple Music or Spotify.
It's probably alphabetical, and that's why S was next to T.
But
like
it was
Serpent.
Tortured Poets was on the left and Serpentine was after.
Did anyone find like what the Serpentine actually was?
Yeah, I mean,
there was no answers for it.
sus.
And nothing ever came out. And like I saw it on Twitter and I was like, okay, like maybe that's just that. No, my Target had it. It literally had the little tab for Serpentine.
You saw it?
Yes, I saw it with my own eyes. My 2020 vision. Okay, I saw it. It was there.
It only said Serpentine.
It said Serpentine and then the $13.99, which is weird. Like it was the same price as Tortured Poets.
I don't know.
Me either.
On the Target app, when you go to search, it literally, one of the searches is Taylor Swift Serpentine. And if you look that up, the Tortured Poets Department order exclusive vinyl comes up.
Okay, you see, like I'm not crazy.
I mean, I definitely think that this could be
an Easter egg for rep, 100%.
Oh, I thought we were talking.
Sammy was going to say that this is something that exists.
No, I meant like another like physical copy to buy these additional songs. I meant.
You think there will be like Tortured Poets Department, the anthology?
Why?
Vinyl, CD.
Another
whatever.
way to release new designs and make more money. Totally plausible.
I mean, I want to know because I want to buy it. Like,
I think why not? So many people would buy it. It'd be a money loss if they didn't do it.
But hasn't so much time already passed? Like we're about to be 2 weeks that the album came out, and
maybe she'll drop it when she starts up Eras again.
Like, do you think it's going to be like the way that CD was only available at Eras tour kind of thing?
Could be.
The one that had You're Losing Me on it?
The Into the Dawn, yeah.
I don't think it's been too much time because I feel like it gives a rest from like shopping fatigue because she also had her merch drop and everything. So everything's timed out for a reason.
Okay, so Fetch, it's coming.
I say Fetch.
Fetch.
Okay. Speaking of, did you guys see Taylor's new For a Fortnight video? And like everybody is clowning that there's going to be a TTPD set in Eras.
Yep.
Because of the like that you could see that it said TTPD on it. Like the balcony looking thing.
I couldn't really like, I thought that was a stretch for me.
It was clear as day.
I thought so too. And the shoes.
The shoes that she was wearing in the Fortnite music video, that's Fetch. The microphone that like everybody's wondering what this extra microphone would be, Fetch. But I don't know. I do want to say though, if it is that TTPD is like included in the set list now or whatever, all of the people saying that it's unfair that she's adding it, I think that's wrong.
Oh yeah, I was seeing that too.
Like it's unfair that you went to Eras tour before TTPD's out and now like, no, it's just like Taylor's going to do what she wants to do. It's not about fair or not.
Yeah. Like, is she supposed to sing songs from an album she hasn't released yet?
Is she supposed to go on tour for like another entire year because it's not fair that we didn't get to see?
Yeah. Please.
So you guys think Fetch though, that she is including it in the Eras tour?
Fetch.
And like as early as next week when tour comes back.
I don't know. I guess.
Okay.
It would make sense because it's not something that could be standalone, I feel like. So why not just pile it on to the Eras?
I get that. So then I guess maybe TS12 is like the next album that she tours alone again, unless TS12 comes out and she's still at the Eras tour.
Like, that show's gonna be 6 hours long. Well, actually, I guess that's something else to consider. It would change like showtime, or would there be something lost? This is going into a whole other thing.
People were
You
talking
can do
about
a festival.
Well, she was supposed to do a festival for Loverfest. RIP.
Yeah, but I'm saying like almost like an eras, like she'll have so many eras and it'll be so long that it's like a 2-3 day festival. The first day is these three, the second day is these three.
On
That'd be
location only.
People were saying that in Europe, she only has one opener versus two. So that changes showtime. And then if you remove songs, like which we've talked about this in multiple episodes already, like some eras literally have so many songs. I think it's easy to just pull off one song from multiple eras and you have a Tortured Poet set already.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're going to find out from a grainy little live stream soon. Okay, so let's start with the Anthology.
The Black Dog.
I like this song. Honestly, I was glad that the album, or like the continuation of the album, started with one of the songs that was like an exclusive kind of thing, and that we got all 4 songs on here, because we were kind of worried about that going into ttpd release. Like, are we ever going to be able to hear these songs on streaming, whatever? So it was nice that we started with this one, although I feel like they should have gone in order in which they were like released to us. Like, we found out about the manuscript first, and then so on and so forth, and then the Black Dog came first. I was like, what? But I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it too.
Are you going to visit the Black Dog bar in London?
I'm looking into it. I think it's closer to me than the Bolter. So yeah, it's on my list.
Yeah, they have like a little Taylor Swift sign and everything outside. Like I hear it's getting like
business is booming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for them. I'll have a Pims in the Black Dog.
I like the lyric of 6 weeks of breathing clean air and I still miss the smoke. Like the little ode to clean, I thought was interesting.
I feel like she's done that in a lot of the songs on this album, kind of had like many little reflections to like past albums or things that she has said. It's giving I feel like there's a lot of like old Taylor and old Taylor music that comes through in some of these songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like she just had to play and listen to her old music to write this. Like, I feel like almost all of it is based off of stuff she already wrote.
Okay, I'm going to Get You Back. How do we feel about this song?
Catchy.
I think it's super catchy. It is really catchy. It's fun. I think it's like, and this is kind of my thoughts about the Anthology as a whole. Like, I feel like the first half of ttpd is so much of like what we were discussing last week, the insanity of it all and like the highs and lows. And like the Anthology is so like even keel. Like there's little bits and pieces of like fun and like anger, but it's just so calm compared to Tortured Poets original OG, if you will. I like, as I keep listening to these songs, like it really comes through that like just maybe because she talked about that she wrote this album over the course of 2 years. So I feel like so much of like the first part of the album is just like when she was really feeling like that anger, that like intense insanity, whether it was like last year and this was what she wrote 2 years ago kind of thing. But I feel like you can definitely tell which songs were written when, if that makes sense.
Right. This feels like after the storm.
A product of the storm?
Oh, sorry. The calm after the storm.
The calm after. Yes, that's what I was thinking too. Okay, what were you going to say, Tosh?
I was going to say I could picture I'm Gonna Get You Back on like OG ttpd.
Yes, I agree. I
think it fits the vibe of it. Like more than it maybe fits the vibe of the Anthology.
Yeah, like it's almost like you would switch. Honestly, like I would switch I'm Gonna Get You Back and maybe like Lommel or something. Like Lommel is more the Anthology and I'm Gonna Get You Back is more ttpd.
Or like I Can Fix Him or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really like it. And it's crazy that it's the only one that has all lowercase.
Thank You, Amy also has all lowercase except for those 3 letters. So
but that's because of that's different. That's because like for an opposite reason. Like this is all lowercase, but there's nothing that's
what's your
standing
theory?
out. Huh?
So what's your theory about that?
I don't know. What do you think, Sam? I'm not gonna lie, it reminds me a lot of Get Him Back by Olivia Rodrigo. It's literally about like not knowing if you wanna like love or like pretend to love to get revenge because of everything that they put you through. Like the message is the same in both songs. They're both like same vibes and feeling of the person singing it. I don't know. It reminds me of it.
Okay.
I think your points are valid. I do. I think they're valid. I'm just going to say that I think this is also a universal feeling that people have when they're in love or like get out of a relationship. Like, and we love Liv, we love Taylor, and they're both crazy in love. So we're bringing Beyonce into this now too. You know, like it's just the way that when a hopeless romantic is falling out of love, I feel like this is what you hold on to. So that's my take on it. Okay, Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus. Honestly, it was just the name drop of Sama in here. Like last week, we literally talked about how she listens to the pod and like things that Samantha says. So this is just reiterating that Samantha is her favorite T-Swift sister.
Thank you, Taylor. I love you.
Like she could have said Sam. I mean, she could have told us Sammy or Sama, and then we would really know that she really listens to our pod. But she said Sam, which works. Like that's your stage
that is
name
her
for the
name.
pod.
I was gonna say
that is your literal pod
Sama,
stage name.
I'd go and play the lotto. That's it.
Chloe or Sama or Sophia. Or
I like that version better.
this song though, it's different. Like I'll be honest, I haven't really like dug super deep into it, but it is really catchy. I like it.
I was about to say the same thing. I didn't look too much into the meaning, but it's one that I like to sing along to. Like I feel like it's an easily addictive one.
Yes, I agree.
I like that it makes an ode to Maroon. And the "you needed me, but you needed drugs more" line is very interesting. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, Tosh came with the tea today. Okay, so High School. I think this is one of my favorite The Anthology songs. I love it. Just like that little fun peek into Taylor and Trav's relationship. Again, with like just the motif of like football and like high school football player and like the silly little in love Taylor that we get. I love it. I just, no notes. I just love it.
It's good vibes. I love when she says, "Are you gonna marry, kiss, or kill me?" It's so cute.
Okay, but you know where that's from, right?
No.
Okay, when Travis had a dating show on, I believe it was E, he had like a reality dating show. They were interviewing him for the show and they gave a marry, kiss, or kill, and Taylor Swift was one of the names.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
That makes it so much better.
I know. That's why I was like, do you know what it's from? Because that's honestly like what's so iconic about it.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, I'm sure like the clip always comes up on my TikTok. So next time it comes up, I'll send it to you so you can see it. It's so cute. He's so baby in that clip. I love it.
So baby.
I need to know what he says. That's tea.
I think he says kiss Taylor. Okay, next one. This one, honestly, at 2 a.m. when the anthology came out, I like did like a quick glance over at the songs before going to bed. And I was like, it's 2 a.m. My eyes, are they deceiving me or is this real life? Like I looked at this one, and if you haven't guessed already, we are talking about Thank You, Amy, and the fact that it's all lowercase and Kim, Kimberly is capitalized in this title. I want to know what Samantha has to say because, yeah.
I just want to point out my favorite line. The part where she talks about your kid comes home singing a song only S2 knows about you.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. 8.
Wow. Yeah. No crumbs.
She literally left no crumbs. Like Kim Kardashian does not exist on this planet anymore after this song.
No.
What are your thoughts on the song, Tosh? You haven't said much.
I mean, I agree. I think it's unhinged and I love it.
You're not here for the lore, I feel like.
I mean, yeah, like,
The thing is, right before this, Ren
No,
and
yeah,
I,
Samantha and I literally had an offline 20-minute discussion about Kim Kardashian and Taylor Swift when we were filming our overtime episode of the pod, because Sammy said that Kim released a Skims line of snake skin giving reputation. So we were like, are we gonna get got and they're gonna like be best friends? There's no way. And then 2 days later, here we are, and we have Thank You, Amy, and we're like, literally, what? What the heck?
and it was weird because before she dropped her snakeskin Skims campaign, she was
Sabrina
using,
Carpenter.
yeah, all of Taylor's besties in her campaign. So she was Sabrina Carpenter, she was Lana Del Rey, she's Brittany Mahomes a while back. So we were like, what is going on? This is so weird. So we thought something was up between the two of them. And then we get this song. I have no words. I literally have no words.
What I love about this song is truthfully the level of maturity, because I feel like so many people and so many like media outlets are trying to give this narrative that like Taylor's still harping on everything that happened 7 years. Like, no, first of all, because Kim also said something dumb about it. Like, she needs to get over it already.
Yeah.
But like, the bully does not get to tell the victim when they are allowed to get over something. Like, you literally ruined Taylor's life for however long until she figured out she was okay. So she gets to decide when she wants to apologize, or like not apologize, but like be okay with your existence. And this song is not anything other than Taylor being like, you effed up my life and I'm better for it. I am better because of it. And that's why I love this song so much, because it's like an F you in the best way.
Yes.
Oh my, I love how she literally says like, I changed your name in this song, but then it has the capital letters. So you know exactly what she's talking about. I absolutely love the Andrea Swift. My mother's a saintly woman, but she wished that you were dead.
I can't with that line. My eyes, I was like the big eye emoji, like, oh my gosh.
No, I was literally gagged. Like, I love this song.
She did not hold back. She's like, I don't care. I'm leaving it all out there. This is what I have to say. And that's what I love. And like you were talking about, people want to say, oh, she's dragging this out. She's bringing this up years later. You can't tell someone what they can and can't say when this literally affected her life so much. It ruined her life and she was negatively impacted by it. You can't tell her, when she should suddenly get over it. If she thinks about this 5-10 years from now, that's for her and that's on her to talk about, So
Yeah.
I'm so glad she did this. She's like, you thought I forgot? No. This
Yeah.
is still on my mind.
Literally, like, don't ever think that like you can try to erase this, because absolutely not. And I think the biggest message here with Kim's response to it, or like the like you need to get over it, whatever, gives so much clarity, because you have to understand that Kim is saying that she wishes Taylor would stop bringing it up, because number one, she knows that she was wrong, and number two, like, now people are going to come after Kim the way that Kim made people go after Taylor. And I'm not saying that we should, or that any Swiftie should, whatever, but my point is that Kim knows the repercussions are going to catch up to her now, because 7 years ago when this happened, Swifties are the ones who had Taylor's back, and now literally all of America and the entire globe is obsessed with Taylor Swift, and like, who
Right.
are you, Kim Kardashian?
Right.
Even her kids know who Taylor Swift is. And I'm sure they hear about it at school and see it on TikTok, since they have their own TikTok accounts. So it's going to reach them no matter what, which is the crazy part and the biggest karma.
Yep.
I also think like now is when she's in the place in her life to be able to write a song like this. Like we're saying, like, oh, not us, but people are saying, like, why would you bring it up now? Like, that happened so long ago. That was reputation. Like, move on. But like, this is now she feels and knows that she is better for it, and can see like where she is now in comparison, like emotionally, like career wise, relationship wise, like this is her prime and like she's here to say that. So like she couldn't have written the song 4 years ago, you know?
Yeah, she wasn't in the same headspace that she was now. And I think when you look lyrically at like Look What You Made Me Do and Thank You Amy, you can see how much she has evolved since then, because Look What You Made Me Do is so much like of an angry song, and it's not even entirely about like the situation, but it alludes to it with like the snakes and everything and all of that stuff. And this is just so much more lyrically mature, and it's just like a reflection of where Taylor is now, or where she was when she wrote this song. Like, wow, I've had enough time to process my emotions, and now is when I'm going to admit like I'm better. And like my mom also wishes that you had died because what you did was terrible.
Mhm.
A plus. Mic drop, honestly.
It's a good segue into Cassandra.
Yes, yet another story of the lore. I really like this one too. This one I haven't like super listened to in depth like the way I did Thank You Amy. You know, it took me a while to like connect the dots on this one, but she does reference like the snakes and all of that.
So I looked it up because I was like, who is Cassandra and what's going on?
Okay.
And she was like cursed by Apollo, and she used to like say prophecy, or she would say prophecies that the snakes would whisper to her, and they were all true, but nobody believed her. And so that's like what the song is, where it says like, so they filled my cell with snakes, and like they don't believe her prophecies, when like the whole time Cassandra was telling the truth, like in this myth. So I was like, I just had to look it up, and it's like, it's giving Reputation.
That's so iconic, because I mean, literally, like, I feel like she's talked about it before, or I'm totally making this up. Take it however you will, that she always knew that, like, I mean, Taylor always knew the truth was going to come out. Like, she always knew that she was right. And she's telling everybody, like, hey, that's not right. But they filled her cell with snakes and canceled her. And look who's right now, Lil Miss Cassandra.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part, like they filled her cell with snakes, but the snakes were the ones telling her the prophecy. So like you ended up helping her. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. It's kind of deep.
That's Taylor for you, man. And also the fact that this song is titled Cassandra, and like I'm looking at the list of the Anthology songs. Every other song here is like someone's name.
Yeah.
So many name songs.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, what do you think of Cassandra, Sammy?
I just wrote that I really like the line "blood's thick, but nothing like the payroll," because it's very on par for who we're talking about in this song and what we know. So again, kind of like with the previous song, very indirect, direct hits that we can understand. So I like this one too a lot.
Before we do the manuscript, we skipped How Did It End? And we wanted to talk about that one.
Thank you for bringing us back, Tosh. I also noticed, and this is my favorite on this side of the album. From the moment I first heard it, it was one of those, wait, let me restart it again from the top. It was so good. I feel like it's almost like a cousin or something to My Tears Ricochet, like same family line, kind of same vibe. Oh my God, just the lyrics are so heartbreaking. I want to know what you guys think.
I think it makes us the villain, as it should. Like, I think it's about her going through a breakup and like her wanting to keep it private. Like, there's literally a line about only telling their friends, and then we're just always like, well, how did it end? How did it end? Like, what happened? So it's like villainizing the public and like the scrutiny she gets. So I think like that angle and perspective is interesting. It's almost like I can do it with a broken heart a little, but like the other side of it, yeah, I like it a lot too. I don't know if it's like my favorite on this side, but I do like it a lot.
So she loves us, but she also hates us. Good to know. Okay, now jumping forward, we have the manuscript. This song is really sad, I feel like. It's like so many little things of so many relationships. Like, I feel like we get a little peek into the Dear John storyline that goes on here with some of the things that she says in the beginning that like make my heart hurt for her as a child, honestly, because that's what she was at that age. She was a child at 19.
I think it's her, like, the whole, like, you know, I go back and I read the manuscript, whatever. It's her, like, thinking about her life and
Right.
like everything she's been through. And like, yeah, like you said, there's those certain lyrics of the age differences and like the all too well references. Like, it's literally just her reflecting on every track 5 song we've ever had, I feel like.
I get
And
that.
I can't think
I
of
get
a
that.
better way to end the album. Like,
Yes.
because this whole album was that, like, it was her heart and soul poured out, and like she just like ended it with like, you know, like, I've done this before, like, and put it all together almost.
And that's what's so crazy, because she ends the album with, but this story isn't mine anymore. And this is like something that she told us, and also what Samantha and I discussed in the last episode, that bonus episode that we did, that this story, like, this is her writing essentially almost her diary. Like, we have 31 songs from her diary, and she's telling, like, these are my deepest, darkest things, and this story isn't mine anymore. It's yours now, because I've closed all of this out from my life, and now I'm ready to, like, officially move on from everything. And saying that maybe makes sense to why TTPD would be in eras. Like, is Tortured Poets the end of all these eras with the manuscript, and now we're moving on to like a fresh start in TS12?
Is it the end of an era but the start of an age?
Okay, end of a decade, but yes.
Oh yeah, but we can say era, sorry. Brain fart.
It worked though, it worked.
It feels like at the end of the book, like the part that's the message from the author when you finish the book. So this is the perfect reflection and culmination to all her previous work. I love it. Also,
It gave me goosebumps, Sammy, damn.
mic drop. Around like I made a little note, around like 2 minutes, 10, 11, 12, 13 seconds, around that area, the keys, like the piano keys, I'm like torn between which one it reminds me of more, either the intro keys to the one or the All Too Well keys. But you have to look at like the piano keys for All Too Well, not the like guitar chords. I know that's really specific, but I played that over like maybe 7 times to listen to it. So again, it kind of goes back to what I was saying. I feel like she just played her old music, had it all open, and was like, let me like fill in the gaps, or maybe go with something that fits that tune, and then created this album.
I get that.
That's a good, I need to listen back and see.
Try it out.
Maybe she talked about that it took her 2 years to create this album, and with the Eras tour, she's going back through all of those eras to create this tour, and maybe doing that was the opening up process for writing this album. If we're talking about like looking at the old songs, whatever, like listening to those songs, preparing for Eras tour brought back these memories, and she's like looking back on them now, kind of thing.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to finish out today's episode with our top 3 from the anthology, and then our top 5 Tortured Poets holistic songs 1 through 31.
Top 3 from Anthology: I'm Gonna Get You Back, The Black Dog, So High School.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna get you back. The Black Dog. And How Did It End?
Okay.
Good.
Those were I'm Gonna Get You Back and The Black Dog. Like, I wanted them to be in my top 3, but they didn't make it. But they're still really up there. It's like in my top 5 for sure. I have So High School. Thank you, Amy. I just had to. It's just fitting for me. And I really like the manuscript. I think just like even the message behind it and all of that. Love it.
Nice.
Yeah, those are my top 3. I'll start us off with top 5.
Okay.
All of mine are from Tortured Poets OG. So I have I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, But Daddy, I Love Him. Honestly, it's up there in my top 5. I love it. The chorus just, it hits different. Tortured Poets title track. Love this song. Very catchy. It grew on me a lot. And The Alchemy. My honorable mention from the anthology is Thank You, Amy.
Emma, you're up.
Okay, so top 5. How Did It End? Fortnite, Florida, My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys, and So Long London.
Ooh, so all of
Oh,
yours were.
wow.
I thought you were gonna have an anthology one. Oh, you did say
You
you
did,
said, how
yeah.
did it end? Okay. Okay.
Wait, so is How Did It End like your number one?
Oh no, I
Okay.
can't go that deep. I don't know yet.
Okay. I'm surprised that So Long London is up there.
It's really good. It actually grew on me a lot.
Can't say the same.
I was gonna say Natasha's giving can't relate.
Mine are Tortured Poets Department. Honestly, my number one, I think. Down Bad. I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. And I'm Gonna Get You Back.
Okay.
Honorable mention that I play a lot is Guilty as Sin, but didn't make it.
Yes, that one has really like climbed the rankings for me too in the last week. And I do want to say all of this with like a caveat because our top songs are constantly like changing and evolving.
Yeah.
That's just what they are this week. So,
as you've seen with Midnights in prior episodes, our opinions change a lot.
Okay, well, that pretty much wraps up this week's episode. But next week, when we come back, we're going to have the first Eras Tour show starting up again. So it won't have started when we will record the pod and when the episode releases, because the episode releases on Wednesday and Eras starts back, I believe, Thursday. But we can definitely theorize, clown more, see what's in store with Taylor and what little crumbs that we get. Maybe we'll find out if ttpd really is going to be on the album or not. Also, stay tuned soon because we're going to probably do a little giveaway. So just keep up with us on our socials for that. But I think that's pretty much it for today. So before we log off, please remember to subscribe to our channel, like this podcast, download your favorite episode, and do all of that by clicking the plus button or clicking a little download. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. We'd love to see all of that. Follow us on social media for more live Taylor Swift news updates, merch updates, all of that fun stuff. And if we do a giveaway, all of that stuff happens there. So make sure that you're linked up with us there. We are on Instagram and TikTok, T Swift Sisters Pod, or Twitter /X at T Swift Sisters. Thank you so much for savoring this week's Swift Scoop. We hope you've had your fill of all things Taylor Swift, and we will see you next week right here on the T Swift Sisters podcast. Bye.